Michelle.
Yes.
I am talking women and money.
Women and money.
Yes. Let's talk about some of your research talking about women and money. Let's do it.
I'll take that little thing. Thank you. So, as you know, Mark, I'm often compelled to research on women and investing, women in the investment industry, and I have my Google alerts set to send me all of the articles that pop up with women, investing, retirement, statistics. So in my Google alerts the other day, I got this little thing for an article called Women in Fund Management, done by the National Council for Research on Women. And I was interested in that because, you know, I've kind of noticed over the years, being a woman in the financial industry, that there's just not that many women in the financial industry. So I wanted to find out more about their research and find out what their study said. So here we go. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Basically, just so everybody knows, that this year in 2010, women have actually crossed the border, and we now are a full 50%, maybe even a little more, of the labor force in America. So we're in the workplace, 50%, all is equal, all is well. But when it comes to the financial industry, women constitute less than 10% of fund managers, and this particular study focused on fund managers and hedge fund managers. So I'd be interested, I don't actually know the statistic for financial advisors, but I think it's probably in the similar 10% range. And then only 3% of hedge fund managers are women. So I find that interesting, but they also kept going and seeing what the results from these women are. And Mark and I have this conversation a lot, and it is, are women different from men when it comes to investing? Because I think they are, and I did a video a while back ago. If you saw, it was probably my first video for my blog, and it was women are better investors than men. And I have to tell you, I've gotten a lot of very unhappy comments about that video on YouTube because men are just offended that I would assert that women could possibly be better at investing than they are. So, I just find it funny that they get so uptight about the whole thing, but we're going to talk about it today anyway. So, are women and men different, and could we possibly be better investors than men? I don't know, we'll see. But in this study, they say that overconfidence among single men resulted in widespread overtrading, as much as 67% higher than single women, which leads to reduced returns and increased instability and volatility within a portfolio. Which makes sense, right? In general, women tended to hold their investments longer. And in U.S. equity funds from 1994 to 2003, women managers tended to take less risk, follow less extreme investing styles, and while the male managers were more active and traded more often, had more turnover. So I think that's interesting. Do you think men would be more active, more tradey? I think so.
I think it's all about ego. I think it's all about ego and wanting to be better and the alpha male deal coming into it.
I'm glad you said that.
Let it fly, Michelle. Let it fly.
So, according to this study, women are less likely to believe in investing as a gamble, which I find interesting. They put more trust in investment professionals, and they're less likely to believe in bending the rules to get ahead in life. So, I find the use of the term gamble very interesting in this quote because, you know, I don't think women see their investing and their long-term results as a gamble, and I think men treat investing like gambling much of the time.
Well, take a look at the E-Trade baby. Mm-hmm. You know,
right.
There's not just a random chance that the E-Trade baby is a boy baby.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you have and even when they have the women come into it, he's a player.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the E-Trade baby. He's a total player, right?
Yes.
He's got the one calling him, oh,
yeah, you know. She's like, you didn't call me.
You didn't call me. And you go, milk a what? You know, he's got two women. He's doing the day trading. I mean, this is totally the male ego thing. They're trying to soften it and make it fun, you know, little babies. And the one guy, and he's picking on the other guy like the golf thing. He said, you know, you suck at golf and you're playing so it's a total male ego-driven type persona. And when these online trading companies, you very seldom see a woman sitting there doing the online trading.
Absolutely.
Rest my case on that one.
Those commercials weren't made to appeal to women.
No.
Well, I think the baby appeals to women. The women think the baby's cute. But I just don't think... Well, I think overall, women is not their market because I don't think women spend a lot of time watching their E-Trade account. We're taking care of the babies. We're not watching, the stuff in our account every day. So
Jeff T says it's testosterone causes a lot of problems.
That's
not
interesting
just
that
in
he
investing,
mentions that.
I don't think.
No.
That's interesting that Jeff mentions
think it's across the
testosterone. We're going to
board.
talk about that too. So, according to the study, men who feel they are being watched and judged by their peers tend to make riskier choices in times of loss or pressure in order to assert their dominance over potential rivals, even if the outcome of less risky choices would have gotten the same result. So, when you're feeling the pressure, you kind of go on the alpha, on the aggression. So, I think, I don't know, boys, do you do that? Get more aggressive when things are looking more shaky and unstable? I think that makes total sense. But women, however, did not choose the riskier path when observed by their peers. They stayed consistent, stuck with their plan, and, in all situations, even when things got, I don't know if they stuck with their plan, but they remained more consistent in their decision-making even when things were more rough. Men's tendency to assert dominance and aggressively risky decision-making is amplified and helps explain the herd mentality noted in the recent financial crisis, so that when things got hot, they kind of pulled back, and everybody pulled back at the same time. Everybody was wanting to get out of the market. Everybody's been bearish, right? Wanting to get out of the market and stay out of the market. So that created kind of that whole herd mentality. So in a 2008 study suggests that a direct link between increased testosterone, Jeff Teach,
Jeff was ahead of you.
and I know, and a willingness to take risks, particularly following a series of profitable trades. So once you've got your mojo going and you're making lots of good trades, your testosterone kicks in and you kind of keep going with that and trading more. Researchers also found that levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, rises during market downturns and may actually prolong the length of a market downturn, which I find fascinating as well, because we're all kind of feeling the stress. They're kind of pulling back from the market, and it's making it last longer because nobody wants to be in the market. What do I got? You guys are smirking over there.
Everybody's, Michelle, you've got all the guys on this call. Where's the bullish chick on here? Where's the bullish chick? Where are the women?
I love it that the guys are.
Where are the women? And the guys are just like dead silent on this one. They're like, whoa, I'm not touching this.
Oh, they're not? Oh, I thought they were.
They're not talking at all.
I'm not trying to be. Oh, well, whatever. You can think whatever you want. But rising levels of testosterone and cortisol prepare traders for taking risk. However, if testosterone reaches physiological limits, as it might during a market bubble, it can turn risk-taking into a form of addiction, which is that whole trading thing. Like, once you get it going, you want more. While extreme cortisol during a down market can actually make traders shun the risk, which we were just talking about. That's Dr. John Coates. Apparently, you all are saying really
I love
funny
this.
things.
Okay, we've got bullish. You got bullish chick saying she's dead on. You got Jeff saying we all know she's right, and Michael saying I'll let the girls touch this. Okay, and then CBS says my testosterone is low right now since the market's up, and Jeff T says this sounds sexy. Sounds too sexy for me, and because Jeff's getting up there. And you know what I think about? I think about this is pretty interesting because if you look at the hunter-gatherer, prehistoric type times when you had the men, what did the men do? They got together, they went out to hunt the antelope. They take their spears and they'd run out there and they'd try to hunt, and the women were at home, talking, making pots, and taking care of the little kids and protecting, making pots mainly, and. And I really think that's what golf is all about. A bunch of guys having their sticks, out there hunting the little ball.
It's got to be about that because I'm terrible and I keep playing.
It's a little clan of 4 out there hunting around. I know it's got to be for me because I spend most of my time in the woods anyway on that.
I'm saying.
And but it is. We have this hunt, seek, and destroy and adrenaline kind of thing. Now, it's not to say that it can't be overcome, but I think that we have to acknowledge it as men, as a natural tendency. And when we're dealing with couples, spouse, I know my practical experience when I worked with couples was that the woman was actually much more concerned with protecting the family, the future, stability, safety, and the man was more involved with using the portfolio as an ego boost. Look how big my portfolio, and I want to be in more, exotic things, to prove that I'm astute, I'm a speculator, and so forth. Things like options and things today. So, I think this is a very important topic because if we don't look at this, we might really underestimate the draw of this kind of thing, either as a coach or when we look at our people that we're coaching.
I think we should ask the question out there for guys out there: are you willing to take more risk, basically, in life than your spouse?
Right.
That's a great question. Do you find as a guy you're willing to take more risk than your spouse is?
Yeah.
Interesting. So, according to a 2009 poll, most asset managers surveyed think that women have an advantage over men in asset management, especially over the long term. And this is managers, not just individual investors. So the tendency of women as investment managers to be more patient and consistent adds a moderating effect to highly turbulent markets. But, however, that being said, women are overlooked a lot as investors, as individual investors as well. Obviously, we've established that women aren't that prevalent in the financial industry, but when it comes to delivering investments to the client level or the investor level, women are often overlooked there too. Sales representatives at brokerages spend more time on advising men than women, offer a wider variety of investments to men, and try harder to acquire men as customers. So, isn't that interesting?
Good study.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. In 2002, women started new businesses, and this is why that's a mistake. Women started new businesses at twice the rate of men and represented a third of all business owners. And women's businesses are generating $9.39 billion in revenues every year. So if you're ignoring them as investors, you're making a huge mistake. And I wanted a Pretty Woman clip here because there's that scene where she goes into the store and she's like, "You work on commission, right?" Big mistake. Big. Huge. So all the girls out there will totally get it, I know. Nearly 1.2 million women are top wealth holders, comprising 43% of Americans with more than $1.5 million in gross assets. And as of this year, women are supposed to be holding more than 50% of the expected wealth. And, you know, it's 2010. We are here. We're not going anywhere. And we own half of everything. So you better watch out.
Kind of fill out numbers here. They own more than half of everything? What's up with that?
I know. Some of the numbers I've actually seen up to 60%, but I couldn't validate it. So overall, women see creating wealth as a means to achieving their goals, not as an end goal itself, such as we were talking about with the portfolio being a measuring stick for success.
Yeah.
And essentially, women are well equipped emotionally and instinctively to be very successful investors. So, you know, we need to be taking initiative and getting the word out in the financial industry as professionals and to women investors all over the world, because we are, you know, making a difference.
Evan says, on the other side of the table, I much more enjoy working with women clients because they want to learn and listen and aren't trying to impress anyone. They just want their portfolios to do the best it can. Kurt says, women live longer and will have all the assets. Evan says, and they control the other half.
Mike Stone.
Evan, don't tell them. That's the secret. You're not supposed to share the secret.